Hi, and welcome back to the podcast today. What we're going to focus on this time is 6 owner qualities that improve the odds of a successful transition. You know, Peter Drucker, he's one of my favorite authors, and he's also one of the world's best known business management thinkers. And he wrote in his book that entrepreneurship is not natural, it's not creative, and it's work. And when I read that, I thought about how that's so true as in business transition also. You're still an entrepreneur as you travel through this business succession and transition world. And to completely put a business in somebody else's hands that is completely capable of taking the business forward without you, without any of your vision, without any of your knowledge, without any of your financial backing, without any of your wisdom and your history with the business, to be able to do that, that is not natural. Your natural ability is actually to be a builder and to grow the business and to figure out problems and do all of those things. That's natural for you. Transitioning a business is not natural. It is not creative. It's actually holding things in place while you're trying to do it. And it is a lot of work. So Peter Drucker put it well. I just transitioned it into business succession and transition. When you're trying to figure out a strategy to transition your business, you use some of the same skills and you use some of the same qualities that you have as an entrepreneur. So the same things that you've used in your 15 or 20 years that you've had this business, you're going to use those again. You're just going to use them in a different way. And then you're going to also hone in on some other skills at a much higher level. So the 6 qualities are courage, generosity, patience, wisdom, adaptability, and humility. If you think about courage, your courage becomes different. Before you had the courage to invest the money, keep the money invested, bring on new people when you weren't sure you needed them, take a leap when you weren't sure if you were going to land quite in the right place, but you did it anyway. They might have been calculated risks, and you had the courage, though, to do that. In this case, you're going to have the courage to walk away, the courage to let go, and the courage to help somebody else be as good or better than you. You may say, oh gosh, I could do that. I would love to have somebody who would be better than me. However, when you really get into that situation, it's almost bittersweet because you're so proud of them being better than you. And you're also going, wow, they're better than me. And sometimes my next adventure isn't quite clear. And it's a little scary. So courage to be able to do that. Generosity. When you're doing an internal transition, again, to any kind of a successor who could be partners you're leaving, they're staying, could be to employees, could also be to family members, children, nieces, nephews, sisters, whatever. Generosity is a big deal because typically the people that are coming in don't have everything that they need to be able to buy the business from you. And so you're going to be giving away not only some of your time, if not a lot of your time, helping them to grow and learn. You also potentially could be giving away a little bit of the money because whenever you give away your time, just as a fact, you're also giving away dollars because you're worth a lot. Anyway, generosity. Patience, you're going to use that at a much, much higher level than you've ever probably used it before because you're going to be watching these successors make mistakes. Again, going back to generosity, They're going to make a mistake that you probably would know better. Might cost the company a little bit, but it's okay. We're going to be generous with that because we're going to allow them to make mistakes. We're going to allow them to think differently. We're going to spend more time with them. We're going to walk them through our thinking. So patience is huge. And I will say your patience gets tested even more if it's your children. You have such high expectations of kids, high expectations of employees too, coming in as successors. But I will tell you that parents have even higher expectations of what they want and want their kids to be and what they expect their kids to do. So patience, wisdom. You've used your wisdom in your company for years. This wisdom is a little bit different. Wisdom in the company that you've used for years sometimes just comes naturally. You just get up in the morning, you know how the business runs. It's just the way that it happens. And you do things so much on automatic that you actually don't know all the steps that you take in order to actually get something done. So in this wisdom, you're going to start transferring wisdom of why you make decisions the way you do. What makes it so that you know your intuition is telling you that we're coming onto hard times or things are going to be good and it's okay to make that leap or that launch and go for it. You know, when do you have to hold back? When can you go forward? All of this wisdom is sort of embedded in you. So your wisdom, you'll want to unpack that, and that's going to take some extra time for you to do that as well. You actually don't know how you do a lot of things. You're great at it, you just don't know how you do it. Adaptability is going to be a big one for you. The adaptability, being able to move with your successors, because you're at some point going to be following them. That's what you want. You want them to lead, you want to follow, but you're trying to keep up with them. And sometimes they're younger, they have more energy, they're moving faster. And it's like, oh my gosh, I can't keep up with you. So the adaptability and your ability to do that is going to be crucial so that you can keep up and make sure that you're on target with them, because you won't be deciding the pathway. At some point, they will. And then humility, just, understanding who you are and being humble in the world. That one's a big one because without that humility, what happens is sometimes successors, they get, instead of being built up, knowing that they can do it, they're beat down. And it has to do with the humility and your humility and also your support of them, because they're going to be looking to you to see if they're doing it the right way. And your humility is going to be crucial for their success. Owners tend to have these qualities. They're tested at a very, very high level when you go through a transition. An internal transition is probably the hardest road that a business owner could take. Sometimes it's easier, maybe more emotionally difficult, to shut down the business and just stop it. Sometimes it's easier to just go sell to a third party. You have your money, got the cash out of the business for what it's worth, and you are done. Done within a year, even, or 2 years if you have to stay on with that company for a little bit to help them run it. But for all intents and purposes, you're finished. These internal transitions, they take extra time, and there are a lot of moving parts in them. So we believe that it's the hardest road that an owner can take. It also, though, could be one of the most rewarding roads that an owner can take, especially if you end up taking care of the business, it thrives forward, the people are in place, they're happy, the culture's continuing, and the values continue, and again, that business continues to thrive forward. So your skills are going to shift a little bit. Your skills are going to move from being that builder-grower of the company to being the mentor-teacher, hands-off. Might take a year or two to be able to do that, but it's kind of fun when you get there. And all of those skills are things that you can learn. I think it's one of the most rewarding things that owners can do, to be able to put in the hands of a true successor, somebody who can build and grow it going forward, the business that was started by you or purchased by you and grown by you. So to wrap this up, what I'd like to leave you with and ask you are, what qualities do you have based on these 6 qualities? Where are you with those 6? And which ones do you think you might need to work on a little bit in order to create the person that you need to be so that you can help this business transition that you want so much to be a success? Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.